Dr. Veritas Ratio is the hero that we didn't ask for, but we definitely needed. He is a man on a mission, and he won't stop until everyone is cured of the illness known as dumbness. No matter who you are, he's never gonna give you up, let you down, make you cry. Okay, he might do that, but that's why we love him. In a patch where everybody thought that Ruan Mei will be this sweet scientist in need of our help, she turned out to be a lying psychopath who drugged us and forced us to solve her problem, with absolute disregard for the space station's safety. On the other hand, everyone thought that Dr. Ratio will be an insufferable arrogant prick who doesn't give a damn about the people around him. But he turned out to be an insufferable arrogant prick who wants to help people realize how to think for themselves. What a twist, huh? But despite his great mind, Dr. Ratio is not a genius. And he will never be. Wanna know why? Then this video is the right place for you. Behind the exuberating persona lies a man who wishes to use his knowledge for the betterment of others. During the conversation between Dr. Ratio and Scrollum in the Mundane Troubles story quest, Scrollum points out that Dr. Ratio is akin to a medical doctor rather than a scholar. That dialogue holds even more meaning if you play the game in Chinese. Someone on Reddit pointed out that the characters used in Dr. Ratio's Chinese name refer to medical doctors, not academic doctors. This gives the entire conversation another layer and tells us that Dr. Ratio sees himself as a healer rather than a scholar. And this ties very well to the reason why he will never be a true genius like Herta, Ruan Mei, and the rest of the disregard for human life society. Don't get me wrong, his academic background isn't short of impressive. While he does indeed adopt the honorifics of a medical doctor, he is a bona fide scholar. In his character story, we learn that he acquired at least 8 doctoral degrees and was awarded the first-class honor degree at the University of Veritas Prime, title which was previously left vacant for 2 Amber eras. That's between 152 and 480 years, by the way. Even after many years, these achievements remained unparalleled in the history of the university, and it's likely to remain like that for generations to come. After he became a teacher, Dr. Ratio was known to be very harsh, only having a 3% passage rate for his students. Strict doesn't even begin to describe this guy. Rumor has it that some congressman's son tried to bribe him to pass one of his classes, and he literally threw him out of the door. A popular assumption is that he took his first name after the university he attended, Veritas Prime, which is funny because in Latin his name literally translates to Dr. Truth Reason. All we need now is to find out if he was present in Berlin in 1952 or not. But despite his impressive academic achievements, Dr. Ratio was never selected to be a member of the Genocide Society, which begs the question, is he not smart enough? I really do not think that the members of the Selfish Society are smarter than him, but I do think that he lacks the will to pursue knowledge at any cost like the other geniuses. To give you a better idea of what I mean, let's talk about the Crazy People Society. The Genius Society is a gathering of geniuses across the cosmos who had drawn the attention of Nous the Erudition. It's important to note that no matter how many accomplishments one has in the field of research, the only way to become a member of the society is to be chosen by Nous. While Dr. Ratio may be an astounding scholar, he never drew the attention of the erudition. And while some may think that this doesn't make sense, when you look at the members of the Genius Society, there is a striking difference between them and Dr. Ratio. The members of the Genius Society are all solitary researchers who obsessively pursue their interests. Sure, there are exceptional projects like the simulated universe where they collaborate, but that's mostly because they are forced to. Like Herta said, the project involves too many aspects that are outside of her area of expertise to do it by herself. All in all, the members of the society pursue a solitary, almost selfish type of research. Most of the time, they don't even bother to share their findings. And this type of selfishness is what catches the Eon's attention. Before becoming an Eon, Nous was an astral computer that wanted to unveil all the mysteries of the universe at all costs. They are the embodiment of the type of research that the members of the criminal society pursue. Nous is only interested in people willing to go to any lengths for their pursuit of knowledge. That's why they didn't have a problem gazing upon people like Polka Kekemond, who was actively killing members of the society, or Emperor Rupert I, who caused the Mechanical Emperor's Wars. Even if you look at the less infamous members, Herta is an asshole who doesn't care about anything besides her research, and Ruan Mei is a psychopath willing to put an entire space station in danger for the sake of her experiments. Unlike them, while Dr. Ratio can be harsh at times, his moral compass is in the right place. You can even argue that he's the complete opposite of what a member of the overrated society should be. Since his goal is to share knowledge and help the less gifted, he will never attract Nous's gaze. His goal is not the ultimate pursuit of knowledge, which makes him unfit to be a genius. Remember folks, prevention is the best medicine. If you want to prevent such illness, Dr. Ratio's recommendation is to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also, consuming Honkai lore has been proven to have extremely good health benefits for your brain, and this channel can provide you with all the medicine you need. So, push that subscribe button. Thanks. Just like he says in the Mundane Troubles story quest, Dr. Ratio doesn't like idiots. In fact, this is the very reason why he's wearing a headgear in the first place, because he doesn't want to make eye contact and interact with them. Now, you may say that he's extremely rude and arrogant, and you'd be right. But even with all those undesirable traits, his intentions are in the right place. Unlike Ruan Mei, who is deceptively nice, Dr. Ratio, while harsh on the exterior, tried to help the people on the space station with every action he took. Did he go too far? Maybe, but to give him credit, the situation was always under his control. His problem with the researchers of the Herta space station was that they were mindlessly idolizing the geniuses from the Big Brain Society. Ruan Mei's story perfectly showcased this issue. Hoyoverse put the two story quests together because they completed each other. Throughout the entire quest, the researchers were losing their minds over Ruan Mei's visit, willing to go as far as putting themselves in danger just to get a modicum of attention from her. In Dr. Ratio's eyes, this was pure foolishness. You have a station full of mindless sheep idolizing self-centered psychopaths who wouldn't hesitate to put them in danger if it was beneficial for their research. So, what does he do? He takes advantage of the chaos caused by Duke Inferno and the Annihilation Gang to teach the researchers a lesson. He knows that Herta has no interest in the space station. She didn't even bother showing up during the two major incidents when the space station was attacked. In case of another attack, the space station will be on its own again. This lesson was especially important for Asta, who is the true leader of the space station, not Herta. If another attack happens, she will be the one forced to take the lead and guide the people. Another reason to his scheme was to test Skrulum. Despite being a lot more approachable than Herta and Ruan Mei, Skrulum suffers from the same curiosity above morals syndrome. He realized from the very beginning that Dr. Ratio was orchestrating the whole thing, but chose to observe what happens to satiate his curiosity. He could have stopped the entire madness from the start, but he intentionally chose to not take any action. If Dr. Ratio was was truly evil, the missing researcher would have been dead. Dr. Ratio wanted to see if Skrulum would choose to act and save the people, which he didn't, once again proving to him that all the geniuses are selfish a-holes. You can clearly see his disdain when it comes to the members of the Lunatic Society. He calls himself mundane, average and mediocre, but not because he thinks that he's beneath them, but more so to mock them. He knows that these geniuses are sociopaths that do not care about the others, and that's why he's so mad when people blindly idolize them. All in all, Dr. Ratio turned out to be much more of an interesting character than I initially thought. He's harsh, but his intentions are purely altruistic. Sure, you can argue that he's a hypocrite since he criticizes others for not thinking for themselves while he claims to know what's best for them, but in a real life situation I would take him over someone like Ruan Mei any day. And don't get me wrong, this is not meant to be a hate video for Ruan Mei and the Genius Society. I really like Ruan Mei's character, and I love how Honkai Star Rail doesn't shy away from introducing morally questionable characters and how the game portrays the members of the Genius Society. But that doesn't change the fact that she's a terrible human being.